Hi folks, in this video we're going to be looking at some simple mobility warm-ups and some lower body recovery and progressive stretches that you should be doing on your recovery days. First up, we're going to work into a low lunge position and we're just going to work our femur in and out, making sure that we're keeping our foot flat to the floor. Next, we're looking at some hip rolls. We're going to start with our hands behind us, keeping our chest lifting, heels staying where they are, and we're going to be rotating through on our hips, moving our knees from side to side. After we do several repetitions, move it forwards, taking your hands off, and then rotating your torso at the same time for that extra stretch. Okay, now we've got some hamstring rocks. We're going to be going into a split kneeling stance, making sure our front foot is just slightly in front of our knee, and then we're going to rock our hips forwards and backwards, stretching through the hip flexor and into the hamstring, keeping our hands flat on the floor. Next, we've got some nice easy thigh tucks. We're going to bring that knee up in towards our chest and then just apply a little bit of pressure onto our shin, pulling it closer. Okay, so first we're going to work the hamstrings. We're going to put our band across the bottom of the foot towards the heel. Keep our chest up and lifting. We're going to bring our chest towards our knee, hinging at the hip only. Now something a little bit easier. We're going to push our hips backwards in a split kneeling stance. Use a cushion underneath that supporting knee to begin with, and then try not to put too much pressure onto that straight leg. Keep the head and chest up. Again, making sure we're pushing the hips backwards and not falling forwards at the waist. Okay, one of my personal favourites, lying down, face down, nice and relaxed. We're just going to pull that foot up towards our backside, keeping our knees level together on the floor. Next, we're taking it a little bit more into the hip flexors. Now get a little cushion or a yoga block to put under that knee, just to make sure it's a little bit more comfortable. We're going to pull that foot up towards your backside and hold that nice and steady. If you're struggling to hold that position, then put your foot onto a chair or a box. Lift that head up and that chest, and then just gently lean over to the opposite side, and you should feel that work through into the entire length of the quad and into the hip flexor as well. As you can see, just take it nice and steady, raise that arm up and then take the lean across. Okay, now we're going to work on some self PNF. So we're going to apply a little bit of tension onto that hamstring first with our band or a belt. Then we're going to push away from us for 6 seconds. Relax, stretch, okay, and then repeat again. Hold for around 6 seconds. Relax and repeat 3 times on each leg for that one. Okay, now it's the quad. Now this is a bit of a faff to get yourself in the right position for this. But exactly the same again, we're going to pull tension on that band, bring that foot towards the back side. Then we're going to push away for 6 seconds. Holding nice and strong, trying to keep our hips in contact with the ground. Then relax, then pull that foot closer towards your backside just to lengthen that quad again. Push away for 6, and then pull it tight again and just increasing that range a little bit more. Okay, next we're going to go for a bit of a progression for our glute and our hip flexors. We're just going to put our ankle onto our opposite knee, bring that leg up towards our chest, and then we're going to grab hold of that shin, pulling that leg closer towards our chest. Make sure we keep our head in contact and our shoulders in contact with the floor on this one, just to keep the back in a more neutral position. Okay, a different stretch for our glute and hip flexors at the back there. We're going to go into a pigeon pose. We're going to start lifting our chest first, keeping our arms straight, then gently come down onto your elbows. And if you want a little bit further, the next progression is to push your arms out straight, so you'll line your chest along that front leg. A little bit of extra pain for that one, okay? Bring that leg that you line underneath just outwards a little bit more, causing a little bit more rotation through the hips. Okay, now we're going to go through a supine twist. So again, this one takes us into our lower back. This is essential for runners and cyclists alike, because this is where we take a lot of the stress through into our lower back. We're going to bring that leg up and across and just gently lower it to either side. Give it a couple of reps before you start using that other hand, just to apply a little bit of pressure onto that knee, pushing it towards the floor. Make sure you keep taking nice, long, deep breaths just to help progress that stretch a little bit further. Okay, this next one we're going to be looking at the soleus and the calf muscle as well. So we're going to take that nice standard issue calf stretch and we're just going to progress it further by just dropping that back knee down towards the floor, lengthening the calf, and then we're going to push up from that foot again, straightening that leg, just putting a little bit more pressure into that stretch. So just to recap for those mobility exercises, repeat each one 6 to 8 times. And then as you progress onto the progressive stretches, hold them for around about 25 to 30 seconds twice on each side too.